Hello and welcome to this video about the break-even point. Notice also that down here in the corner we have added two new things, the break-even quantity and the break-even value, because you can find the break-even point in quantity and in value. So what is the break-even point? Well, it's when your operating income equals zero. In other words, it's when your total revenues equals your total cost. So let's dig into it right away. First, we have to go back to our original equation to calculate operating income. This can be done by contribution margin per unit times quantity of units sold minus your fixed costs equals your operating income. Now, we want to do some different things here, actually. And one of the things we want to do is we want to change this quantity, and we need to change this operating income. Now we actually want to make this quantity into the BEQ, and we want to make this operating income to zero. Why do we want to do this? Well, this way we can try to figure out what the break-even quantity is, and we know that the break-even point is when the operating income equals zero. So let's rearrange this. Now we know that the contribution margin per unit times the break-even quantity is equal to fixed costs. Why can I say this? Well, look, I can take my fixed costs, right, and then I can move it over here, and it becomes a plus, becomes a positive. So contribution margin per unit times the break-even quantity equals your fixed costs. Now from here I can rearrange it. So the break-even quantity equals your, and let's add a line for the fraction, your fixed costs over your contribution margin per unit. Now all of this here is in units, quantity. But I might want to figure it out in, let's say, a different way, in, say, value. So let's make a little box right here. Boom, boom. I want to figure it out in value, maybe. So how can I do this? Well, the easiest way is taking your break-even quantity and times it by the selling price, right? But there's also another way. And for this, I'll have to introduce two new formulas, right? And those are these. Your break-even quantity is also, because of the formula, your fixed costs over the price, the selling price, minus your variable cost per unit, because the contribution margin per unit is equal to your price minus your variable cost per unit. Now this can be written for the value. This can be written as the BEP is equal to also a fraction your total costs over 1 minus VCU divided by your price. So there you have it, folks. In conclusion, a quick review. After rearranging this formula, we found out that your break-even quantity is your fixed cost divided by your contribution margin per unit. In order to make this into value, you times it by the selling price. You may also want to use the formulas, the break-even quantity, which is your fixed cost over your price minus your variable cost per unit, because contribution margin equals that. Or for the break-even point in value, you may want to do TC is 1 minus the VCU divided by P, and I should correct this to be BEV. Alright. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.